problem.
Let me ask you about the job that you want, okay? First, a general question. In your time on city council, did you ever vote for an ordinance that you didn't read before you voted on it? Anyone ever do that? None of you voted on an ordinance without having read it and understood what was in the ordinance, right?
Right.
On Beacon Hill, as a state representative, you will be asked multiple times, it appears, based on tradition, to pass bills that you don't have a chance to read. They come out of conference committee, they could be 200 pages long. You get a couple hours before it happens. You can't possibly read it or digest it. Are you comfortable with that? And I'll start with you, Rick Lipoff.
Yeah, no, I'm not very comfortable with that, and I would hope, and this is why you have legislative aides, you know, that there would be potentially a team that could review things for you and educate you if you can't read the entire thing. I'd like to read the entire thing. I'd spend weekends and nights. If when I'm elected, I will be phasing my company out and doing this job full time. And I have worked long hours my whole life with 2 jobs and raising a family at the same time. And I would try to read every word that I was voting or penning my name to. I can imagine it's overwhelming, but I would not want to do that in theory, no.
But
Greg,
you know you're going to have to.
Greg, isn't your issue that they might present it to you with no time to read it, like the way that the leaders?
Absolutely.
No
Yeah.
time.
There are 2 weeks now to the end of legislative session.
You know, yeah, Greg, here's my answer. In theory, that doesn't sit well with me. I will do what I can, as everybody does up there, to make the best decisions in the time I have allotted. If the culture needs to be changed, then that's something to allow that to not happen anymore.
Right.
Hopefully I'll rise to and help get that done to change the culture.
So Greg Swartz, if I heard Rick correctly, he said he would give up his day job, his business, to be a state representative full time. You're a practicing doctor. Are you planning to give up your day job? And then I would like to know about whether you're comfortable voting on things you've never read.
Yeah, no, thank you for asking. I know that question comes up. I'm ready to, and when I went into this race, I definitely have every intention of making the state rep position the priority and my full attention. What I have heard since getting into the race from some of the representatives and senators that I've talked to is that it's actually of some value to maintain a foot and in your profession so that you can have a reality check and you can actually know how some of your policies are impacting people, as well as keeping those lines of communication. I know that many of the senators and representatives, some of them are lawyers, but many of them have other businesses. They do find ways to continue to work a little bit in their field. I'm not planning to. I'm ready to give it all away, but if I need to maintain some connection, I'm certainly interested in looking at that. But my full priority
let me get to the other question. Are you comfortable with the idea that you'll be asked to vote on things that you will not have read?
So again, there's 2 issues there. One is how, you know, is it a matter of the culture, like Rick was leading to, that you just don't, you know, there's no opportunity to read it, if that's what you're saying. I mean, certainly I am used to being a generalist, being a primary care physician. I am used to not knowing everything about everything. I know what I don't know, and I know who to ask when I don't know. So I consult with specialists all the time who are much more knowledgeable in a particular area than I am, and I know who to trust. So if it comes to the opportunity, there's time to ask for some, you know, expert interest. You know, I know how to ask the right questions of people who are in the know. But if it's more that the schedule, you know, it's July 30th and July 31st is the end of the session and they're dumping all these bills on us, that's something that needs to change.
Great. So Bill Humphrey, I want to ask you that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is not just legislative culture, but process. They've sort of centralized things to such a degree where they're not delegating to the relevant committees and so forth to get the work done over a longer period of time so that people actually have the chance to read the bills and it doesn't get all piled up. You know, I think that we've seen them not do work for 18 months in this term and then suddenly try to do everything all at once, which I don't think is getting us very good outcomes. The reality, as the others have said, is that you are going to unfortunately be asked to vote for bills that you haven't had a chance to read completely. But you can, you know, use your Control F on the computer and search for the relevant parts that are, you know, of particular interest to you. And